Calls for reparations to be paid reached fever pitch this week when a UN judge suggested that £18 trillion, yes, you heard it, £18 trillion wasn't enough for the UK to pay back the debt for all of the nations that were pummeled during the slave trade. Now, I think that is complete nonsense. The UK shouldn't be paying a penny in reparations, and here's why. Post-colonial African and Caribbean nations aren't impoverished because of slavery. They're primarily in the mess that they're in because of corrupt politicians and bad decisions made post-independence. Let's look at two post-colonial success stories. Singapore has become one of the most prosperous countries in the world, even more prosperous than many of the former colonial powers that colonised most of the world. Let's take India, for example. This year, it became the world's sixth biggest economy. It sent a spacecraft to the moon, and it's also the world's biggest democracy. How does that fit in with the argument that colonialism is the cause of all of these countries' problems when there are many post-colonial nations which are thriving, Singapore and India, just to name a few? Now, has colonialism had a lasting legacy for both good and bad? Of course it has. But is the bad the sole reason that these countries are struggling both socially and economically? No, of course not. Let's say the people calling for reparations to be paid are right, like the Guyanese president. Let's say they are right. Who should be paying the reparations and who should be receiving the reparations? Is he seriously arguing that modern-day British taxpayers, who have absolutely nothing to do with the slave trade, should be paying modern-day people in formerly colonised countries who similarly have nothing to do with slavery because of things which happened centuries ago? It's total nonsense. Whatever next? Should Britain be demanding reparations from Sweden for the Viking conquest or from France for the Norman conquest? Of course not. Britain is already one of the biggest donors in global international aid. It's a fundamental part of our budget every year, a Conservative policy that I'm very proud of. We seem to have got to a place in the world where we want quick and easy solutions for problems. And the simple fact of the matter is, we can't solve our social or economic problems, whether here in Britain, in Africa, or in the Caribbean, with quick, simple solutions. And that's why I say those who are calling for reparations and blaming slavery for the problems of countries today are just providing a convenient excuse for failure.